everybody, welcome. It's your girl, Val The Forensic Gal. I got it. You know what? I've been saying Val Forensic Gal for so long, and now we're adding the to it, so it gets like, I keep forgetting to say that. So it's Val The Forensic Gal. Thank you for joining me on CyberSecureyou. Oh my God, new vibe, new look, new energy. I'm here for it. Anyways, you guys, today we are talking about a very serious issue, okay? And not many of you may have experienced this, but I do the shows because maybe there are some of you that have, and you didn't know who to turn to and who to speak to. I myself did not know. So we're gonna show you a video, a brief video. Take a look at this video, pay attention to what you're hearing, pay attention to what you're seeing, and then we'll talk about it. That was me. And I had no idea. I knew I was being stalked, okay? I knew I was being hacked. I had no idea that they were surveilling me to this magnitude. I had no idea that they had gone in, and somehow got hacked into my Ring system, and then was able to log into my cameras and see me in my home. Invasion of privacy to the 100 power, okay? I have walked around my home in different ways, nude, barely clothed. Who knows what they saw me doing and how often they were watching me do it. So I had a feeling something was going on as far as their surveillance was concerned, because as I've told you guys, I was severely stalked and I was severely hacked for about 9 years. And I have an idea of who's been doing it. It doesn't seem to be one person, but like I said, I had no idea it was to this level. So I said, let me go back and review some of my footage that I have on my Ring system. Okay, let me just go back, because you know, with Ring you can record, and it can record for a certain amount of seconds, right? And a lot of times we just skip past it. We'll be like, oh, we'll just take a look at maybe the first few seconds, and then we don't pay attention to anything else. But again, as I started watching some of the videos, I almost skipped past that one. It's so funny, I almost skipped past it. But I'm glad I stopped and I took a look at it. And I'm watching me walk. I thought, okay, that's normal. But then all of a sudden, it's what I'm hearing that's alarming. I'm like, wait a minute. Why does it sound like I'm in a wind tunnel? Why does it sound like I'm driving somewhere? Why does it sound like I'm in a car with the windows down? Why does it sound like I'm on the freeway and I'm hearing other cars pass me? And I'm in my home. Imagine how freaked out I was. I mean, I was terrified, to tell you the truth. I was extremely terrified, just to know that someone has been watching me, and I don't know how long for, and I don't know what they've seen. It's scary. It's absolutely terrifying. So I remember calling Ring. Okay, no, actually what I did do is I took a look at the logins on my Ring account, and I found that there was some unusual logins. And I'm like, this is not me. This is not my device. This is the devices I use. I don't have this. At the time I was using iPhone and iPad. Now I have an Android and an iPad. But before I had everything iPhone, everything Apple, right? And when I took a look at the logins, I'm seeing all this variation of devices that I didn't even have. So I called Ring and I said, not only did I see that, that's not all that I noticed. I also noticed that there were periods of time that I was gone from home, where I knew I was gone for like 2 days, if not longer, but yet someone was accessing my place. I've got so much evidence. It's absolutely unreal. I was telling my publicist today, I was telling her, I even have footage of someone in my home wearing my clothes, walking around. What in the hell would possess a person to even think of doing something so crazy? So I say all this to say, are you being watched? How much do you know about what your cameras in your home are capturing about you and your daily life? The things that you are doing, the things that are sacred to you. It's all about our privacy, you guys. It's privacy. Like I said, that is my utmost concern because mine was totally taken away. Just poof, gone. It got to a point where I had to realize, like, you know what, Val? You have no privacy. You honestly cannot care about anything that you do. You're just gonna have to move. Because I actually got stuck. I stopped moving. I started to isolate myself because I had no idea what was going on. And again, who was watching. So I made it like, okay, well, oh, Val, you can't do this. And oh, you can't go here. And I just stayed in the house, not knowing that staying in the house was the worst thing I could have did because they were just watching me inside my damn house. Anyways, and I didn't think I was going to get angry. I thought I was going to cry. It's funny because I was thinking about when I was doing the show, and I said, Val, do not cry. Because honestly, it was terrifying. It was so scary to finally be able to put my hands on something tangible that I can say, you guys, look, this shit is for real. Because people weren't believing me. They thought I was tripping. Val, you tripping. Nobody's watching you. Nobody's, no. So to finally have some evidence, and it's so funny because even with evidence, people will tell you you're lying. But you got to trust yourself, okay? I'm going to tell you because one day I will go through my entire journey. And you guys will understand everything I've been through because I have evidence on all of it. Anyways, let me get back to the topic. Being watched. Is someone surveilling you? Is someone snooping? Is someone spying on you? What kind of breaches are being broken here? You know, what's going on? Are they violating your privacy rights? Could be. It happens. And I'm so glad this came out because I thought to myself at the time, mind you, this video that you guys saw, and we'll play it again, but the video that you saw, this was taken about 3 years ago, I believe, at this point. It's been 3 years. So I thought to myself, what am I going to do with this? I can't keep going to the police. They don't do shit. They don't know how to handle this kind of stuff. All they'll do is take a report, if they take a report. I've had issues with that. So I was like, what am I going to do with this? I'm just going to have to sit on this until there's an appropriate time for me to reveal what I have. And the time is now because of the lawsuit that has come against Amazon's Ring devices. And I'm so glad that I am not the only one out there. I'm not solo out here on this shit. So cameras, at this point, cameras and surveillance capabilities have grown. It has become way larger than we imagine. And because it's not in our face all the time, we're not cognizant to the fact that we're being watched. Okay? Now, a lot of people say, hey, what do you care if you're being watched? Well, yeah, I care, as you should, as you should. Just like when I said about your privacy. You want privacy. You do care if you're being watched. Are there laws to say, hey, I want you to watch me during this time, but not this time? Like, you know, do we get a say so? Since you want to watch us, can we have a say in this? I don't know. Apparently, there will be 1 billion active surveillance cameras around the world. That's a lot of damn cameras. And I've done shows in the past on China's surveillance methods, and they have cameras everywhere. They are dissecting you to a T. They are zoning in on you, and it's reading your age, your height, your like DNA. It's looking at your what is it? Like your, what is it? It's like looking at your history. Like it can literally zone in on you and get all of that information. Who your mother was, who your father was, grandfather, uncles, aunts, like all of that, just by zoning in and getting information from your facial features. That's how advanced they are in China. I don't necessarily know if they're doing that here in the United States as of yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if we get there really quickly with the help of China. Anyways, let's go get to this Ring situation. So with Ring, many of you have seen this because it's been out a while, but there's parents in Tennessee who says that the hackers sang songs to their children. And I saw the video and I was freaked out. Like, what? The little girl's in her room doing her thing, playing with her little dolls or whatever, and all of a sudden here comes this voice through the camera.
Who is that?
I'm your best friend.
I'm Santa Claus.
Mommy!
I'm Santa Claus. Don't you want to be my best friend?
Like, how sick do you have to be to do something like that? And so another person who has a Ring camera in Texas said that she was even threatened with extortion, and they were using the front doorbell camera. I had one of those too. I thought I was protecting myself. I really thought I was doing something. I had a Ring camera in the front. I had 3 inside the house because I was having break-ins as well. So whoever was doing this to me, they were also getting in my home, like I mentioned earlier. So, and wearing my clothes. So I thought, okay, I'll catch them if they're in the home. But every device that is created, it's just like with software. Okay, so Apple, Google, all of these tech giants, they come out with patches, right, for the software. Why do we think they do that? They do that because hackers very quickly figure out how to infiltrate the software, and they find holes in it, and they basically exploit those holes. And therefore, let's say we have a software update. We update our software. Oh, we're good to go. Not really, because once you've updated the software and then there's all of a sudden you have some issues, you're trying to open up something, you can't open it up, it's flickering, it's spinning, you just can't get to this document you're trying to get to. And that's mainly because there's a few reasons for that, but since we're on the topic of hackers infiltrating this software, hackers usually figure out how to manipulate the software as soon as it's out on the market. And then Apple, Google, they have to go back in, figure out what the hackers did, where they got in, and then come out with another software and say, hey, you guys, quickly update this. Now, I always tell people, update your software. Make sure you update your software because that is truly important to keep these hackers at bay. Anyways, back to this Ring thing. So earlier this year, it was noted that Ring was slated to pay out about $5.8 million after employees spied on customers with customer videos. All right, and this includes Alexa. I never trusted that bitch. I'm gonna be honest. Excuse my language. I never trusted her, so I never had one. I don't even know what I was doing with Ring, but I mean, I thought I was protecting myself. So, but when it comes to Alexa, I always was very leery of what she was doing. It's funny how you can literally put human characteristics to a device. Because it's literally a device, but it seems like it's so much more than that because it can do so much. It's like damn near can outthink a human, right? So it's like, anyways, moving on. So workers and contractors were accessing personal videos. And without our permission, mind you. And so the FTC came to an agreement once this was discovered, the FTC came to an agreement with Ring and said for 20 years, we want access to all your data and we want to check all of the videos and we want to know what kind of data you guys are keeping, period. That's what they want to know. And how much data they're accessing and that sort of thing. Now, that's all fine and dandy. I personally don't think the FTC is going to take the time to review all that type of footage. I really would like to know the intricate parts of how that would actually play out, because I'm like, I don't see it happening. Even though it is a violation of our federal laws, it doesn't matter. I don't think they're going to be on top of it, and I feel like we're going to see more of this happen as in years to come. Because again, the surveillance methods are getting quite extravagant. You know, we've got drones flying around that can spy on us. You know, how are we going to snatch a drone out the sky if we don't want it looking at us? You can't. So anyways, it was also said that the information that Ring was able to obtain was also shared with Ukraine. Why? What do they want with what U.S. individuals who live in the U.S. are doing in their home? What do they care about what we're doing in our home? You see, again, this shit goes really, really deep. It's like it goes further than what we think. Okay, fine. Ring employees were spying on U.S. citizens. This was discovered. But the fact now that they were sharing it with Ukraine, what the hell for? What information are they trying to gather on us and for what reasons? Because I'm telling you, it's down the line, 10 years from now, 15 years from now is when we're going to see the ramifications of this situation. It's not going to be immediate. We're just getting the information out now, like, oh, they're spying on us. Okay, but what for? Anyways, Ring apparently has changed its practices, which I do not believe. Okay, and Ring employees and contractors cannot access customer information or videos. And the only way they're going to be allowed to access customer account information or videos is if the customer gives them consent. Bullshit. I call bullshit. Whatever. I would never give access to view anything unless I'm giving it to the authorities, not to Ring. Why would I say, Ring, go back and take a look at any of my footage? What for? The only reason you would need to do something like that is if there's a murder, there's a crime that has taken place in your home. And why would Ring need to go back and take a look at that? That is not Ring's responsibility. That is for the authorities. So I don't know what the hell that even means. I dismiss that. I don't even know why that was written. And Amazon claims they're going to go back and they're going to delete. They're supposed to go back through this large amount of information, all this large amount of footage, and delete the video information, identities, facial images, living environments, all that stuff. They're going to go back and delete all that stuff from the Rings database. Bullshit again. I call bullshit. Listen, it's so much data that I just find it's like, to me, it's impossible. They haven't hit me up. Look what I have. Look at my video. You can clearly hear somebody's watching me. No one's contacted me yet. So I don't know what that means. This is the worst part of it all. To me. You have hackers that are in these criminal chat rooms and they are selling login information for under $10, y'all. For under $10. That's all we're worth. And I've done shows on this before as well. As I've expressed to you guys, the dark web is a criminal environment for many, and they will sell your driver's license for pennies on the dollar. They're selling your social security number, your addresses for pennies on the dollar. When I say that, I mean your driver's license can cost less than $1, but they're selling it. So the login information to be able to access someone's Ring device is being sold in criminal chat rooms for under $10. So think about that. If it's being sold for under $10, that means they can, let's say if it's being sold for $5 and you have someone that wants to spend $100, you know, how many accounts are these guys getting? And then once they get it, what are they doing? So they're just logging in and looking at you, seeing where you think you're hiding something in your safe. You're punching in your safe code. The camera's looking at you, you know, and here's the thing. The cameras turn, right? They can maybe make the camera turn. You thought the camera's facing this way. You're over here in your safe that way. The camera turns this way, watches you put your code in. You turn around, the camera goes back that way. And you would have never known. You would have never known. And they seen you put in the information. Next minute you know they're in your home. So, you know, I bring this up because it's like, for me, I feel like we need to stay woke. We need to, you know that song, Stay Woke, Childish Gambino? I love that song because it implies so much in so many different areas of our lives. And when it comes to cyber crimes, we need to stay woke. It's very important. It is also said that 400 local police departments already have deals in place to access the ring. Like, look, y'all. Let me repeat that. 400 local police departments have deals in place to access Ring devices. Well, I hope they access the right ones. You know, the police have a habit. Let me not even go there. I'm just not going to go there. I just hope they access the right devices. Let me not even go there and get myself in trouble. Because here's the thing. Every time that law enforcement creates a tool to combat crime, the criminals can already get at it. They're just that damn quick. Just like I said with the patches and the software, they're just that quick. It's like they're 10 steps ahead. It's like we're 10 steps behind. That's how outrageous this is. I feel like we need a team of individuals, which I believe we have, that stays 10 steps ahead of hackers and cyber criminals, because they are quick with it. They create these databases and things become available and the criminals have access to it immediately. So here are 5 quick tips that you can use to protect yourself against surveillance and spying eyes. Number 1, passwords. Make sure you have really nice, long, complicated passwords. I would just put a string of words together. The black cat jumped over the hill to the dog. I mean, something like that. Something that it's unguessable. At the same time, they have apps that can guess it. At the same time, it's better for you to make sure your passwords are secure and constantly change them. You know, change them often so it keeps the hackers from attacking you. Number 2, make sure that you set up your 2-factor authentication. Okay? I mentioned it before, but that is very, very important. It is important that you get notified anytime someone is accessing your accounts or devices. Number 3, antivirus software. It is very important because malicious software can get into anything. And it's just you opening up something and maybe tapping on a link and boom, they're in. So I would set up some sort of malware protection, antivirus software. Norton Antivirus, there's so many of them out there. McAfee. McAfee is actually a really good one. I like McAfee. So check them out. I would also, number 4, go and review, go into your accounts, go into settings, and review devices that have been logging into your account. This is, to me, one of the most important tips of all of them, to tell you the truth, because this will let you know who's been getting into your account. You need to know this, who's been getting it, and who's been jumping out, if you want to put it that way. One more tip for surveillance. I would say, with the cameras, if you don't need them in your home, and I'll say this again, tip number 5, for your cameras, If you do not need them in your homes, do not have them in your home. Period, point blank. Keep them outside the home so you can know who's coming in, who's going out. But if you don't need them in the home, if you already have them in the home, cover them up. And I had to start doing that myself. Cover them up. That way, if someone is watching, they won't be able to see you. And those are my tips. So here's my advice when it comes to all of this. Because again, heaven forbid somebody is spying on you. Heaven forbid that your privacy rights are being violated. Heaven forbid you have what happened to me happen to you. And you don't really even know it because you never reviewed your ring footage to see if somebody was actually watching you. You need to, again, lock your devices down. Implement your two-factor authentications, which means add a secondary phone number, add an email, add something that's going to notify you when someone accesses your account. Not just notify you, notify anybody in your family. If you're on a family plan, have it notify the whole entire family. You know what I mean? Because the thing is maybe you're working and the notification will come through and you'll dismiss it. I actually have a friend, her account was being accessed and she did receive the notification, but she ignored it. She got the notification like, oh, I'll get back to that. Not really knowing like, wait a minute, I need to check this right now, which she should have. Because at the time, individuals were using her information to obtain something. So if you have a family plan and you have somebody else that's joint to your device, your phone, your account, make sure everybody's on that plan. They can get the information as well. That way, if you're not able to see it, they can see it. Also, check who's been logging into your Ring account. That was one thing that I think for me was very helpful. It validated what I was feeling. Because honestly, I didn't see this video till way after all of this, okay? Till way after I had saw that someone was logging in, but I had the feeling first. I felt like somebody was watching me. Because I was like, how do they know which parts of the house I'm in? Because strange things were happening. And I'm like, how do they know? So I had the feeling, not knowing I was actually right at the time. But I went and I checked. I said something told me, you know what, check your login, see who's logging in. So that would be my second piece of advice. Go in and see what devices are logging in. See, matter of fact, even if it says it's an iPad, make sure that it matches, the serial number matches. You know, you have to get really detailed with becoming your own investigator of your own devices and accounts. It is up to us to be proactive and make sure that we're safe. So hopefully I was able to cover what I needed to cover in regards to this. I think I will come back and actually do another show because I have more information. I just have to go and dig it up because I have so much evidence. But I'd like to come back and revisit this topic because it goes way deeper than what I said today. So thank you so much for joining me on CyberSecureyou. And I hope you stay proactive. I hope you keep an eye out on your devices and your accounts and your applications. This is your girl, Val Forensic Gal, or Val The Forensic Gal. And I will see you next time. Thank you so much for joining me. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.